What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's up, family? Good news. It's already Friday. Amazing, right? Listen, the news is newsing today. There's so many things, but so Young Thug, he's this rapper that's on trial for RICO charges. This guy was so I guess hard up for a Percocet that he literally had somebody in court bring him a Percocet. And they had it on camera. As soon as they handed him the Percocet, the guards swooped in on him. And it's like, are y'all really this hard up for drugs like this? You already on trial for an over 30-year sentence at the least. And yeah, it's just, listen, criminals aren't that smart. We got this. We get it. But it's just sometimes it's kind of shocking. It is very shocking. So what else is going on? So that I talked about that George Santos guy yesterday. Let's just go over his lies so far. So I said about the drag queen thing. I'm just going to bring up what is his lies so far. So here, there's 11 of them so far. Let's go down the list. They got him. His mother died as a result to 9/11. His website claimed this, and this is probably what got him in office, but the lady wasn't even there. She wasn't even there. He said that she passed away a few years later from inhaling toxic debris and all this. But no, she was in Brazil during the attack. He said he was a volleyball star. Also untrue. He had a Ponzi scheme where he said that he was working at Goldman Sachs and all this stuff. Literally was. These were all the things that he lied about on his resume. He's got a lot of alleged crimes committed in Brazil. He was charged with fraud for stealing a checkbook from a man and his mother who was working for them. Nearly $700 using a stolen checkbook and a fake name. This man, lots of crime. He stole scarves. His ex-roommate said he was going around stealing numerous items, his Burberry scarf. This is as worse as the other dude that stole somebody's luggage. He said that he was mugged on the way to delivering his rent check. That's a good one. To his Queens landlord. This dude is good. This is the biggest one, though. So a homeless veteran out of money was raising money to save his dying dog. And Santos took the GoFundMe money from the man, $3,000. The Post shooting. He said in an interview following a successful bid that he claimed that he lost 4 employees at the Post Club, which wasn't even true. He impersonated Kevin McCarthy. This dude, and like I said, the whole drag queen thing, which is a whole photo of him, and it's funny to me because You guys elected him. So there's that. Let's see what else that I saw in this thing. The repetitive news is always interesting, like what they choose to repeat all the time and what they don't. Supposedly, last week's massive flight disruption was caused by contract personnel that unintentionally deleted files, which grounded flights. Interesting. Let's see. I have a lot of story time for you guys, so I'm going to be hopping into this soon. I'm just seeing if there's anything else we want to talk about in this cray-cray world. Let me check one other source and see. I still can't believe that Percocet story because the video. I wish you guys could see these videos that I always play you because it's just wild. Oh, Alec Baldwin got charged with involuntary manslaughter for the death of Hannah Gutierrez Reed in the shooting death of the cinema photographer on the movie set Rust. So him and the guy that actually loaded the gun are charged, which is not shocking. I don't think he'll do any jail time because I think they're just going to squeeze him for some more money, is what I think. But yeah, that was news today of him getting charged with that. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into the story time. This first one, pretty disgusting.
I did my research so you won't have to. And a big shout out to this commenter for bringing this evil man to my attention. Pictured here is Jason DJ Kid Pope. This white supremacist went on to infect over 693 young black girls with HIV/AIDS knowingly. I am not joking. His criminal rap sheet goes all the way back to December 1995. That's 26 years. His rap sheet is so long, I'm more than sure this TikTok is going to need 3 parts. December 1995, he was charged with impersonating an officer, convicted, and given a 1-year sentence that was suspended and 2 years of probation. In February of 1996, he was charged with the prostitution of a minor and given a 30-month sentence that was suspended. August of 1997, he was charged with assault and battery, convicted, and only received a fine. In January of 1998, he was arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest, resulting in another fine. April of 1988, he was convicted of disorderly conduct, received another fine. March 1999, charged with forgery and larceny, no conviction. December of 2000, charged with forgery, finally sentenced to just 90 days in jail. September of 2001, he went on to be charged with forgery again and given a suspended sentence of 5 years and 2 years of probation again. Again, March of 2002, obtaining signatures under false pretense, no conviction. October of 2002, opened a retail business without a license, suspended sentence of 30 days. May of 2003, driving on a suspended license. He took a small break from the white privilege, picked it back up May of 2006, and did malicious injury to personal property, but didn't get sentenced for either. October of 2006, charged with the illegal distribution of a recording. I bet you can guess what he recorded. January 2007, once again, operating a retail business without a license. May of 2007, charged again with illegal distribution of a recording and just given a 2-year sentence of probation. November of 2011, convicted of unlawful use of a phone. no jail time. December 2011, he gave a 13 and 16-year-old girl AIDS on Thanksgiving Day. No charges were filed. He did not serve any time, even though the police were called. Follow for part 2.
This story is absolutely disgusting, and ladies, y'all gotta stay safe out here, because it's terrible. It's just terrible. I just can't even believe it. I never had even heard of the story before.
I don't know. I just want to have a transparency moment. I am struggling. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I feel like I'm trying everything. I'm applying for jobs I don't want. Putting stuff up for sale that I don't want to let go of. My Etsy store is not doing nothing. Like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I don't know how much more I'm supposed to lose. Like, and then I just keep thinking about it. Like, all the people I was making all these sacrifices for, like, they're not here. They're not checking on me. They're not concerned about whether I'm okay. This is like, I've lost my mother. I've lost my grandmother. I have never felt pain like this before in my life. I just I miss her. Like, every second. And then not knowing how she's doing is like, and then I'm trying. I am. Like, I'm trying. I'm trying to push through the feelings, but like, everything is falling apart. Like, nothing is panning out. Like, everything. Like, I'm trying to rent rooms. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't think I'm a bad person. I don't. And I truly, like, I just been going back over it. Like, I was truly just trying to be helpful to people. And the crazy thing is, like, my efforts helped. They helped. I know they did. I kept their baby safe for months. I provided for her whole life. And I don't get nothing. I don't even get to know if she's okay. I don't even get to be okay. Nobody cares that they left me in shambles. Like, I can't get nothing that I lost back.
So everybody's kind of been there. I mean, you insert topic, but everybody's been there where they just feel like they're lost and they don't know, where to go, and just keep going and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That was just the whole point of that. Me even sharing her videos, because we all kind of get in these funks where we just don't know what to do. We don't know if we're doing it right. Like, that's life. All I can do is say pray and just ask God to give you for guidance, and just keep waking up every day until things start to be clear. And sometimes you think you got something figured out and you don't. And that's just life. And that's why I don't put big goals or dreams into businesses or love or this or that, because it's all gumbo. Life is just a bunch of gumbo to me, a bunch of gobbledygook. And it's like, whatever wave you're riding at this point, this is the wave you're supposed to be riding. And you might be on a whole nother, we're going to stick with this ocean thing because I just got off of vacation, but you might be in another part of the sea where it's rough or it's calm or it's whatever. And you just got to go with it until you can't go with it no more. Meaning, like your number's up, not you take your number off. But we've all been there, and I just played that just to let you know that, we all have had these days where we're lost in the sauce.
I need everyone to stop what they're doing. So I just got out of an Uber where my Uber driver abused me, disrespected me, and also tried to kidnap me. So I was getting dropped off on my college campus, and my Uber driver's destination on the GPS dropped him off about a block away from the building that I was supposed to go into. So I was telling my Uber driver to go on the next block, and he proceeded to fight with me. When I was pointing at the direction, he hit my hand. And then when I kept asking him to get me out the car, he locked the doors on me and told me he was going to make a U-turn and drop me off somewhere else. I'm going to play the clip of the video. It's a bit disturbing.
At you at all.
I'm not. I said they keep canceling on me. I'm walking.
I'm not
I'm not to drive you around.
My destination is literally right where that blue car
right
is.
there at the light.
No, all you have, you need to drop me off at the building.
No, I'll take you up at the Broad Street. I'm going to take you where you're
No, the destination, I'm telling you where it is. It's right there. You're taking me the wrong way. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, I'm going to drop you where you put in. I'm tired of nonsense.
I'm telling you where to go. The building is right there.
Get off right here. I'll take you where you're
The
supposed to go.
building was right there. You're the one that made the U-turn.
I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm right to drive you around.
I was literally driving me around. The destination is right there.
To go pick up.
I hope you know this is on recording, and I am going to tell the police about this and Uber about this, and you will lose your job. Stop the car.
I'm not
Stop the car. I need to get out the car. I need to get out the car.
Come on.
Okay? I need your name.
Get out of the car.
What is your name?
The reason this happened is because it has become so normalized to disrespect Black women. People think you can literally disrespect Black women and abuse us and nothing will happen to you. I told the police already and they did nothing because my Black life does not matter. So now I have to get on social media and call all my Black women out here to make noise about this. Because big companies like Uber should not be allowing drivers to disrespect women, especially Black women. This is his license plate as well and the description of the car. So hopefully someone can help me find the identity of this man and make sure that he is never driving Uber again, because that would mean more Black women are in danger of a buffoon like him. This was highly unnecessary, highly uncalled for, and highly ridiculous, and should not be allowed.
So if you're in New York, his name's Amika, and he's a Black Ford Fusion. I was watching the video. It looked like a bunch of confusion. I didn't know what that dude was saying. I don't even know if she knew what he was saying. I mean, listen, Uber's at your own risk. Will I go marching out in the streets for her? No. I think that you just got in a driver that did not understand your directions, and they don't. Sometimes you got to pull out the GPS and show them. It's a whole thing, and I feel for you, sis. I'm not about to go march for you, though, but Amika, M-E-K-A, Black Fur Fusion, New York City, don't get in this thing, because he seems like he doesn't know good directions. That's as much noise as I'm going to give you, because, I mean, he didn't really assault her. He kind of she was reaching forward, and he smacked her hand. I mean, I don't know. That would seem like a culture thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, y'all, here we are back at it again with another surviving Dallas man dating story. This situation was better, but also not better, if you catch my drift. He had his own place, and he did not have roommates, so let me preface it with that. So, let me just say that his name is Randy, and he's from Carrollton, and he's applying for dental hygienist school, and he currently works at a dental clinic, right? You know, I gotta conceal names, identities, and things. So I met this man in traffic, and literally like in traffic, like I was at the light, he pulled up at the light, fine. BMW, a Miri sweater, Ray-Bans, you know, he got the fresh, you know, you could tell he got his teeth done, you know, okay, like some money, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna give him the time of day, right? So he yelling his number out the window, and I catch his number, right? And y'all, I did not do what I did last time, so don't fucking come for me. I did go on a date with this man, several dates with this man before I did go to his house. So when I went to his house, it was cool. We finally, started hanging out at his house. We just watched a couple of bad movies, had some wine, enjoyed each other's company, right? So this went on for maybe about 2.5 to 3 months. And besides homosexuals being in Dallas, y'all got a lot of sassy men. Like, I don't know what's going on. God released this recent generation of men, this recent addition of men, but y'all sassy as fuck and I don't like it. Like, you always got something to say. Like, what's wrong, bitch? Like, okay. So one day on a night I was normally, we hang out, watch a couple of bad movies, have some wine, enjoy each other's company. This man texts me this long paragraph how he's applying for dental hygienist school and that how I'm a distraction because I'm a vibe. And, he can't fuck with me no more, X, Y, and Z. And the kind of woman I am, I was just kind of like, okay. I literally text back and said, okay, with a period. Because, sir, you said what you said in a declarative sentence, meaning you was telling me something, right? And who am I to go back and forth with something that you're choosing to do for the betterment of yourself? If anybody needs to stop fucking with me for the betterment of their life, I encourage you to do that. Bye. Like soar to the moon without me. So I said, okay. This man hit me up like a month or two later and was just like, hey. And I said, what's up? And he was just like, we didn't really have a conversation or really talk about what I said. What is that talk about? I reread his message back to him. I'm applying for dental hygienist school and, we have such a good time together, so you distract me and we need to cool for a while. He said, yeah, I said that. And I was like, yeah. And I said, okay, because you was telling me something. He said, I was just expecting, a little pushback, a little back and forth. Sir, what? You think you're the chase. By all means, black men, you are a prize, but you are never the chase, okay? This man really thought I was going to sit up there and beg him for me to be in his presence.
So it's this new revolution now of like men, they want to be chased now, and women, we are just tired of the old traditional stuff that they were expecting. Like, is this tide is turned on this big time. I don't know. I don't understand it on both sides. But I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't and I can't. Let's go.
This video is a great example as to why you can't tell your testimony to everybody.
Then you may want to question that, but my fruit lines up.
Well, I mean,
it's the same way. Let me tell you this. It's the same. When the Lord called me, he said it this way. He said, I'm the same God that called you. You wasn't there. The same God that delivered you, you wasn't there. The same God that healed you, you wasn't there. And he's the same God that's calling me to do what he's calling me to do now.
He called you a woman that had three divorces.
No, not two. But yeah.
One. So yeah, three divorces or what?
Well, with a woman, that don't count because that was not of God.
I really hate that sis even went on this platform. Why she did it, I don't know. But when I saw this clip, I decided to take the time to watch the whole thing and not just go off of a 1 minute clip or whatever it was. And when I tell you, dude sitting in the middle, from the time she called herself an apostle, he was done. As she's telling her testimony, he on his phone, really not paying attention to what she talking about. Then he proceeds to tell her that God can't use her because at one point she was married to a woman and she's been divorced 3 times, including the time with the woman and with 2 other men. Now, I know there are people out here who don't believe that women should be preaching, okay? And that's fine. But you ain't got to be rude. You call yourself a man of God, and yet you treated that woman like you did. You could have corrected her without judging her. And I completely disagree with how you treated her. I don't care what your opinion is about women being preachers, apostles, whatever. You ain't got to be rude. You could have easily expressed your disagreement and moved on. But yet, when you try to discredit somebody because of their testimony and what God has brought them through, and then try to tell her that her testimony ain't true, like, who are you? It's the misogyny for me. Like, where in the word, because they kept referring to the Bible, where in the word does it tell us to be rude to people, especially when they're giving their testimony? We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Sis is overcoming by telling her story. Come on now, like as Christians, I'll take it deeper. As people, we have got to do better. We ain't gotta be rude. Love your neighbor as yourself. So find out how to love yourself so you can properly learn how to love somebody else.
I agree with her wholeheartedly. And this is what turns a lot of people away from religion and church, is just the nastiness in it. And you cannot say that you are a follower of Christ and just treat people any kind of way. You just can't. Especially on a platform. Believe me, I curtail because I have this podcast and I'm aware my audience is broad. I don't say a lot of stuff because I don't want to offend a lot of people, because not my views are everyone's views, and that's okay. Now, if you come into my house, you're going to respect what I do in my house, but as this platform, I'm never going to turn my nose down or look away unless you're intentionally hurting someone or just being completely vile and disgusting, like infecting people with AIDS or being a pedo. Then yes, I'm anti you, but I'm not going to turn my nose up at your lifestyle, because that is not how Christ was. And God's first and biggest commandment is love, and none of that was leading with love. And so that's why I really hate that, because it's a terrible representation of church, and that's why a lot of people don't like fooling with church. And if I didn't know, that's why it's most important to focus on your relationship with God and get to know Christ for yourself, not for what these people are telling you, because they're completely wrong. When you have that personal relationship, then you will already know who's operating the wrong way. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Kids should not be able to transition. This is coming from a happy trans woman. I mean, do you wonder why kids can't drive, they can't drink, they can't smoke? It's because their brains are not fully developed. We've been told the last 3 years to follow the science. What's different about this? Follow along for more thoughts from a clear-thinking, educated trans woman.
There you have it. She considers herself a clear-thinking, educated trans woman. I'm going to say I agree with her on that. I think that kids, their brains develop. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say there are people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that still don't know what they want. I just played you a video of a lady that didn't even know where she wanted in life. Because sometimes we think we want things, and then when we get them, it's not even what we wanted. So you just have to be careful for whatever steps you're taking in life, whether it's transitioning or deciding to go whatever. Like, you might not be happy with that tomorrow or a year from now. So yes, I think a kid is too young, but at any age, your mind could change.
In Tennessee, when he is working his minimum wage job, he is supposed to give 50% of his paycheck to the 11 women that he fathered these children with, and they are supposed to divide it equally. The problem is some of the women are only getting $1.49 because he does work minimum wage. So just this week, he appeared in court, and he's asking the court to give him a break on those payments, on the $1.49 that he's giving to.
A man in Tennessee has 30 children with 11 different women, and he is 33 years old.
And this is very terrible news. And this is terrible. This is when, people that's like, some people need to be have vasectomies. There should be, as much as we focus on abortion, some people should not be allowed to have any more children if you can't take care of them. When is that conversation going to be a conversation about bringing children in the world that you cannot afford?
Sheriff Grady Judd claims this Florida burglary suspect might just be
the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Here's why.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said? I didn't stutter. At 18:55 hours at night, we get a 911 hang-up. Our deputies respond to a vacant house with a for sale sign in the yard. That's where the 911 call came from. Sliding the glass doors open. So we go in and we check it out, and voila, there's Martin along with his girlfriend. They're in the house. And then we, of course, take them into custody. Martin confesses. She confesses to her burglary that they're in the house. And here's what she said. I swear she said this. It's hard for me to even get this out. She dialed 911 to have a deputy come there to help them move their belongings and take them to the airport so that they could fly back to New York. That they don't like it in Florida anymore. Did you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear that she dialed 911 from inside the house that they'd broken into so we could help them pack up and give them a ride to the airport so they could return to New York? They didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And we gave them a ride. It wasn't to the airport. It was to the county jail. I don't know of anyone who's ever said, hey, I'm in the middle of a burglary here, but I'd like a ride to New York. Can you take me to the airport? She said that. We thought she was kidding. She wasn't. I guess you say, well, what do you think, honey? Well, we're not in New York anymore. Give me a kiss goodbye. Because we're not going to get to stay in the same jail cell in Polk County. It's crazy.
Yeah.
These young men of today, they're backward. And some of you young women is just as backward. You don't mind working and taking care of some man. What's the matter with you? A grown man laying around who's not sick. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He just don't want to work. And you agree to it as long as he drop you some pipe. Am I right?
Go ahead, brother. Yeah, you breaking it down.
As long as he drop you some pipe, you're going to lay around and take care of bum.
His hands refuse to labor.
I don't care who it offends.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
If you a woman like that, you don't love yourself.
Go ahead.
Preach God's word. You will agree to take care of man who refuse to work.
His hands refuse to labor.
Do you hear the Bible talking?
In the book of Proverbs 21 and at verse 25.
Call chapter and verse again.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 25.
What the word said.
The desire of the slothful.
The desire of the lazy.
Killeth him.
Lazy. That's by the Spirit.
Amen.
God said it.
The desire of the slothful.
The desire of the lazy.
Killeth him.
It kills him.
For his hands.
For his hands.
Refuse to labor.
Come on. I want to work. Come on. Listen, Jack, if I'm married and got kids, and I'm not working, and if one of my brothers, say Brother David Waiters, come to me and say, yo, Gino, hey, look, man, I heard you ain't got a job, but look, my company's hiring, man. And you have to be on your feet 20, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Go to work. I got kids. I'm going. And you mean to tell them, well, I don't do that. I got flat feet. If I want to take care of my kids, I'm going to get the right shoes, right support.
That's right.
If I got to come home bent over, my kids got to eat.
Go ahead.
Now, I know many men that are watching are sick of me working on this.
That's right.
Which verifies you a bum.
Amen. Verifies it. Go ahead.
And I blame some women.
Go ahead.
Because you have spoiled these no good bums.
That's right. Spoiled them.
You have took care of them like they were babies.
That's right.
They refuse to work, and you keep making excuses. You men who don't have a job, don't just sit at home on the internet and search. You got to go the old time way. Go outside. Knock on doors.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Are you listening?
Go ahead.
All this is tied in with holiness.
That's right.
You're right. Because God said,
the desire of the slothful.
The desire. The reason why we tell you young girls to leave boys alone, you in school. One of the worst things can happen to you is get pregnant.
Yeah.
Now you gotta drop out of college.
That's right.
They take care of some bum's child.
Amen.
And the bum is not gonna be there for the child he helped make.
That's right. That's good teaching, brother.
So now you got to work.
Good teaching.
And still try to study.
Still try to study.
And now it may be overwhelming.
That's right.
You got to get 2 and 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Then you got to argue with some bum.
That's right.
That want to be respected as a man.
Go ahead, brother. Tell the people. Tell the people. Oh, it's good teaching.
You see why they hate Pastor Jennings?
Amen.
I love to ruffle the feathers of the fallen angels.
So this pastor, he's a trip, but I do agree. Quit taking care of bums, ladies. Stop. Even in the Bible, it says don't do it. So remember I talked about that HIV story earlier. So the article is on marvavipost.com. Exposed HIV plus white man sleeps with over 600 black women and hopes they'll spread the disease to black men. His name is Jason Pope. A young white man with AIDS is currently in the grips of the American police for allegedly sleeping with over 600 black women in hopes they will spread the deadly disease to black men. Jason Pope, properly called DJ Kid, randomly posted pictures of the many women he had slept with and bragged about them on social media. Pope was, however, arrested a few days ago after the authorities in America shockingly discovered he had intentionally infected the over 600 women with the virus. Just horrible. Just horrible.
You can get 80% of what you need from one person. You might need like that 20% for someone else. That doesn't mean that you love that person any less. It's not just mean that they're not giving you 100% of their effort and love and time. It just might be like, I need this love, something. Expecting someone to be completely monogamous is very unrealistic, we feel like, in this day and time. We both know we are very sexual beings and we be f***ing. You know, it's like when I'm on the road, I still be wanting to be f***ing. And when I'm gone, she still be wanting to be f***ing. So we just came up with an agreement that worked for us and the lifestyle that we have. And that's my best friend, bro. I like to tell her everything. Like when I had a crazy situation, I'm like, you don't believe it? This sucked my dick on the top of a skyscraper right before I hopped on the helicopter. She was like, what? Tell me everything.
So they have an open marriage, which is absolutely crazy to me, but it works for them, I guess. But I just told y'all about this AIDS and STD stuff, and that's why I hate this little fantasy la la land of let's just sleep around and tell wonderful stories. My guy, that's really not how life works unless y'all really can test it like that. But yeah, proceed with caution.
20 years ago, when I married a man for love, he left me to give birth to his child that was inevitably not going to survive. And he knew this, and of which he chose to go to Las Vegas with his girlfriend. And so, his coworker. And then, so let's fast forward 20 years, and now I'm married to a man who left me with his 2 children and wouldn't even let them shower at his home when our well burst, because he hates me so much because, again, he just wanted to be with his coworker. And so I'm not a bitter ex-wife. I'm not a bitter baby mama. I am a hurt human who has been hurt by other humans. And so if I bring y'all down with my bullshit, it's not that I mean to. It's that I am going through this, growing through this right now. And I'm going to let y'all see how I get through this shit. Shining bright, man.
Much love and prayers to the good sis.
So I don't like to date men with kids at all by any means, but I do have 2 baby daddies on my body. And one of them confirmed why I would never date someone with a small child. And the other one confirmed that I will make an exception for the correct person. Do you get what I'm saying? The one with the small child, that was such a fucking irritating situation. If the baby is under 1, the baby mama wants her family. She wants her family. Just, girl, and you cannot compete with no baby.
Just know that. And you shouldn't be able to. And it's just gonna drive you crazy. Even if you talking like, I don't really give a fuck, like, it's just gonna be hella irritating. It's just irritating. Now the other one, his kids are older. I'm talking like 13 and 12. Grown, damn near. Matter of fact, I've told y'all about him. My hood baby. He recently came for Christmas to see his kids with my best eater. But I didn't find out he had them children until we was talking for a little second. Like date 3, he let me know he had kids, but he let me know they was older. He's in his like early 30s there, and he had them kids during like his teenage, like high school sweetheart relationship. Cool part about that, he was so far removed from the situation with his baby mother that it was like, oh yeah, I mean, that's my homeboy. But what let me know that I could make an exception and date a man with kids, if they're older like that. I knew we was getting kind of locked in because he didn't let me know about them kids right away, and then he didn't talk about them, and then all of a sudden he would just start talking to me about his kids and like everything he was doing with them. I found out he was a really involved father in like the sports and the extracurriculars and shit, and my timeline started making sense in terms of why he'd be like, oh, I gotta come over after this time, and this time it's lining up with the kids' activities, right? And so one day we trying to make our plans, and he like, I'm just gonna FaceTime you. This was not normal. He usually just text me. Again, putting it together because his son, the 13-year-old, used to be in the car. So he FaceTimed me, little bro, in the front seat, and he got me sitting up on the thing, and I'm like, okay, well, what's the plans, da-da-da-da. I'm trying to keep it cool because I know this baby in the car. He started, like, doing, like, he just messing with his son. OD, like, he messing with his son. He messing with his son. Like, what you doing? You on Instagram? Mecca, you got an Instagram? I'm finna see what your I'm finna look at your Instagram from her Instagram because he didn't have an Instagram. And the little boy looks up, like, they're like this, so I can see him. Little boy look at him and say, Dad, you're only doing this because a girl's on the phone. Leave me alone. I said, yo, I could damn near fuck with it, little bro. You doing a lot, Dad. You doing a lot. Also, I'm a person who argues with children, and arguing with very small children don't make sense, but the moment I hear you not my mom, your mama could never be me. Your mama couldn't keep her man. That's why I'm here. And that's so inappropriate to say to a 5-year-old. 13?
No comment.
There's finally an update in the Shaquella Robinson case, although it's probably not going to be exactly what you want to hear. But last Friday, the prosecutor handling this case in Mexico gave a press conference. And at that press conference, he made several important statements. And the first and most important, in my opinion, is that nobody has impunity in this case, meaning that he is still investigating. He is investigating everybody. The Cabo 6, I bet it also includes that doctor who was in the hotel room, but they are still actively investigating this case. Second, he stated that he had asked for the extradition of the person he believes responsible for this death. Dejanay, we know it's she, but he still didn't identify Dejanay, but we know it's her. Third, he also stated that he had asked U.S. officials for interviews with the Cabo 6. And my guess is that there's a lot of red tape going on here because the FBI is also still investigating. And I told you they do stuff super secret, so we're not going to know anything about their investigation. But they are working together, and there's probably a lot of red tape when they try to do that. Either way, the benefit of this statement is that we know Shaquella has not been forgotten, and the investigation is still ongoing.
I mean, just be careful, because this is just even more reason why you have to watch who you hang around, because these people literally, this stuff happened back in October. We're all the way into almost February and still nothing. I know it's taking time, but just be careful even more of who you so-called call your friends and who you're traveling with, because the fact that nobody's been arrested yet and these people are just out still just free is wild. They can completely be somewhere else by now, changing their identities or something. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And, prayers to her family, because I couldn't imagine. I mean, I didn't even know her. I couldn't imagine if it was actually my loved one and I'm waiting for justice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Romania. I live in the great state of North Carolina. The above picture is of the person that gave me herpes 1 and 2. Throughout this process, it has been excruciating. But the justice system has even been worse. attorney and I, we have tried to have this person charged for intentionally giving me herpes 1 and 2. But the Durham district attorney said that there's no standard, which means there's no precedence in North. When someone gives you herpes 1 and 2, they cannot charge him. What we mean by that is there's no law. If someone gives you HIV, AIDS, if someone gives you herpes, or if someone gives you an incurable infection or disease, you have no recourse in North Carolina. None. So, my attorney and I decided that we would go on to the North Carolina Appeals Court. There must be a standard. There must be precedents made here, because it is not right. It's unfair for a person to just give someone an incurable infection or disease, and there is no recourse. For me, I know a lot of people are saying, well, can't you take the medication? They have medication for it. But for me, that is not an option. I'm allergic to it. Who would have thought? I tried all of them, and I'm allergic to them. So there's no recourse. I do have a petition that is coming, and I ask that you sign it. This is not just about me anymore. This is about all the men and women in North Carolina and even other southern states that have been given an incurable infection or disease. They have the proof that the person did this to them, but there's no precedence for it. Now, let me say this. I am not villainizing anyone that has herpes or HIV. I am saying that it is not right to intentionally give someone this without telling them. Tell them, let them make a choice if that's what they want to do. North Carolina, we gotta do better for our women and for our men. We are going to the appeals court, and I ask that you sign the petition that will be coming forth soon. Thank you.
That's so sad. And yeah, she's getting the word out. And if you are from North Carolina or any southern states, check on that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all got to use some protection, because people are still out here foul. I know that in an age where we're still so focused on all of the sex and genders and then what we identify, nobody's identifying what diseases you got. And I got big problems with that. I got big problems with that. That's one reason why I don't like, if you're gay, come out the closet, quit playing games, because people are dying due to your negligence. It's sad, it's disgusting, and I think that if you knowingly infect someone with something, you should go to jail. Straight up. Like, that's irresponsible and it's disgusting, and I hate that. And you know, these are things where you will see my true feelings of things come out, because I don't like this kind of stuff. It's disgusting and it's wrong. And it's the weekend. And that's that. I'm going to hang my hat on that. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to pray that you guys have an amazing, safe weekend. And I'm going to pray that you guys tune back in to Efforts for Family, because we will have so much more to talk about, obviously. Efforts for Family is signing off. You guys have an amazing, amazing weekend.